All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Readers. A little bit of a busy day, so I'm making my videos early. This is live trading hours, all right? You're going to see the percent move. You're going to see candles move. You might even see an alert of mine pop, all right? If a couple things. If you see an alert, they are not an immediate buy notification. I'm making this video live, so you're not going to even see me really reacting to many of them, if any of them, all right? So I want to talk about FFIE and OCGN, all right? So I have a lot of lines on this one. You can tell I was actually watching it go down with the lines, right? So I'm going to go ahead and delete everything here, and then we'll do a fresh view on this one. But I'm not trusting this stock just yet. All right, believe me, I see this monster day. If you made some money here, I hope you did, right? And hey, you could have easily played the break of the 8 moving average. So there was a way to do well today with the strategy as well, right? But yeah, I'm still not believing in this one, and I hope you can see it before I even get to the technicals shortly, right? But struggling with the 8 and the 20, just coming off a reverse split. This one's, again, I hope you're crushing it. I will talk about where I think the day will end and what I think about tomorrow, right? But yeah, the other one I want to talk about is OCGN. So I had a number of people ask me about this one on Twitter, actually. I said the same essential things that I think this was actually a copy and paste from Twitter, but look, I thought OCGN wanted more a few days ago, and it was weird that it was struggling at $1. That'll be the story, right? But I talked about a weekly resistance at 118. Oh man, the daily looked good. So yeah, that one's doing very, very nicely. All right. So before we go any further and I give you more of my thoughts and opinions though, what are we gonna do? Same thing we always do, right? I'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. You just saw me delete them, but I will draw some horizontal support and resistance lines. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to this channel, share this video online with your friends, comment good or bad if you disagree with me, because anything you do really, really does help with the YouTube algorithms. But for real, just being here, giving me your time, I am so, so grateful for it all right? So FFIE, all right? I really, really want to start with saying the following, all right? And believe me, this is very much opinion, but it is my real opinion, all right? I sincerely do not believe any technicals. There are so many, right? Like, I don't think anything would have really triggered today was going to be a monster 42% day. All right. And I know people are always hunting for that. How do I find it before it happens? Right. This is not the example of how you do it. All right. That said, I'm going to give you my opinions of why I don't trust this yet. And then obviously I'll tell you what I think is going to happen today as well as tomorrow onward, right? But why don't I trust it? Look, this view alone says it alone, and I'll zoom out more and I imagine I'll see the same, all right? But it has been, at least the full year, since January this year through today, we have been well under the 8 and the 20 moving averages, all right? I say it all the time. When these two lines are your worst enemy, all they're going to do is just keep you down and take money, all right? When they're your friends, and this isn't even a stock that, goodness, right? Look at this thing. Let's use this view from July, right? Let's take it from here. Yeah, from late July 2022 all the way to today. You can almost easily see the 8 and the 20 is over almost what? 80% of the candles, right? So this is a stock that constantly stays under that. And to me, that's not something I want to gamble, all right? Because it is, to me, it's a gamble. Now, there was no news. There were no headlines that said FFIE did this, did that, was invested by this, by that, right? There was nothing that screamed, oh, their cars are going to be it, right? Today is what looks like a pump. And we've seen it before. You get these crazy days of it was just down here at 9 million, right? 9.8 million volume share traded. The next day it goes all the way up to almost 60, a 6x volume, and then right back down to reality, right? So I'm seeing again what looks like a very, very big pump, right? Yesterday was 13 million shares. We're already at 75, and I mean, there's still what, 2.5 hours to go of trading, right? So the volume's there, and as I zoom out, today is a big volume day. But as much as I believe volume is king, as much as I believe volume is queen for my ladies out there, right? Like, I can't believe in this volume today. Again, I'm sorry to zoom in and out so much, but let me just keep zooming out, keep zooming out, keep zooming out. My goodness. All right, let's be honest. Since right here, since June of last year, let's even be a little more just blunt about it. Since, let's take it right here. That's the last even good green candle. Since the middle of August of last year of 2023, we have been well under the 20 moving average the entire time. All right. Now, some people might say, hey, we've been under it far too long and it's ready to give and this and that. We've hit it once, twice, not even really 3 times. That candle you can see is on. We haven't, it's not like we've hit this thing 4, 5, 6 times or even like 3 times really close to get like, I'm still seeing a stock that's just, I don't know. Now look, this little moment right here in May, let me zoom in a little bit because no, let me not. I think we can still see it, right? You can see all the hits and all, it took about a month. It took about from May to June of literally living on the 20 before we finally made a run up to the next couple lines, right? So in like, I need more damage to the 20 moving average before I feel like, look, I talk about the game Jenga. I talk about this game called Don't Break the Ice, right? I need more damage here before I'm worried, right? Otherwise, I'll keep pulling the Jenga pieces, right? Like, I don't think it's going to topple over yet. I'll keep hitting the hammer. I don't think the little penguin's going to fall just yet. You know what I mean? So I see the big volume. I see the big percent. I don't believe just yet, all right? I started the video by saying, look, there was a way of making a really good, let me word it this way, right? There are so many different people that trade so many different ways. Let me put it this way, all right? I'm never here saying my 5 lines, my moving averages, this and like, I'm not pretending this is the best one, right? But I've always said rip off my strategy. It's not too bad, right? And one thing that I think could have been a very, very reasonable move, right? And it's something we always hunt. If you break the 8, you'll go to the 20. And there was a nice moment to get in, maybe at like a high 10 or a low 11, right? Again, I wish I could see a little bit more decimals here, but yeah, if you got in roughly 11 cents, you've made a good 20% so far, right? I'm rounding, but every penny is 10%. I'm adding 2 pennies from 11 to 13. There you go, right? And hey, you might have even been able to ride it up to 15. And hey, I don't know if you sold or not, but the moving average at 20, you can see, I said that weird. The 20 moving average is at 16, right? So again, I can't see how many decimals it was, but it might have been a decent trigger, and that would have been a beautiful trade, right? So going back to the first part, I don't believe there's a set of technicals that'll say today's the day. Today's the day that we're going to, 4x, 5x, 6x yesterday's volume. Today's the day, blah, 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 right? But using this system, you're still up about 20%. And like I said, you might have banked close to 40, right? Actually, if you got out close enough to that 20 moving average before we dropped, right? So let me talk about where I think the rest of the day is going to go. So it is almost, let's go to the hourly chart. Interesting. All right. So we are sitting at the 100 moving average on the hourly right now, right? So you can see it. That broke the 50. That was a beautiful confirmation. So far, we haven't confirmed as well as I'd like to. Obviously, we're just sitting here, right? But I can see this 13 being a little bit of a difficulty to get out of, right? Where is this line? For sure. So now again, I wish I had a couple more decimals here, but what I am clicking on is 10, 11, 12. It's the 1 p.m. Eastern candle on Wednesday the 13th. All right. So if you can get into that candle, the top of that, that's what we're going to want to break for me to believe that we're going to go all the way up to maybe 18. All right. This is going to be a hard line. I'm going to draw this and I want to see what this looks like on the daily real quick. Where is it? I'm just curious. Okay. So again, where the hourly says it might go to 18, you got to remember the daily is saying 16 is going to be a little difficult, right? So maybe, oh, look at that. We're creeping in the 14s. Interesting. No, that's my line. Sorry. I thought that was going to the 14. Yeah, between 14 and 16, that's actually a decent trade right there too. You are not quite adding 20%. You're almost at what? A decent 10% at least, right? But yeah, I think that 16 is going to be a little bit hard to break. I don't think I would trust this thing to say we're going to go up. What's the 15 looking like? Oh, okay. So the 15 is telling me we've lost a little bit of volume, all right? But I'm also seeing this thing bounce on the 8 moving average so far pretty well, right? 78's a little bit of a high RSI, but this thing was pushing 88 for a couple 15-minute candles, right? So maybe we go back up. Look, I am not entirely sure we're breaking this 14-cent line. I'm not. Because, well, so it's 15. That'll take me 2 candles to get to 11. I don't think we're breaking 14. I don't. I think that's a little too high of an RSI. And I don't think we've gotten very much. I don't think we've gone much higher than that. Yeah, look at that. You can see 81's where I drew it. We're at 82. It's been a long time since the hourly RSI has gone above that. So I am not sure 14 will break. All right, that's my answer for today. In terms of tomorrow, look, maybe there's a wick. Maybe there's a. I will say this. I'll start this way. I believe tomorrow's coming down to 11 cents. I do. I actually wouldn't even be surprised if it comes down to 10 cents. All right. I think there's a chance it might wick as high as 18, but I strongly recommend having your finger on the mouse if you're trading this thing today and or tomorrow. All right. Because again, I see it as a pump and dump. I'm actually not focusing on the fact that this is the biggest trading volume day. I'm not. I don't believe this. There hasn't been news and I'm seeing too much. And again, this is a reverse split that just happened. It's been 20 days since it's happened, right? 20 calendar days, let alone less than 20 trading days, right? So I don't care that this is a small reverse split. We've seen one on 100, we've seen one at 50, we've seen one at 20. One at 3 is the exact same thing as one at 3,000 to me. A reverse split is bad. A forward split is good. All right. So, hey, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions. I want to come into OCGN. All right. So, again, I've been talking about this one on Twitter and Discord for a bit. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe, please share, it would be much appreciated. All right. So, really interesting chart here. All right. I like this. And again, why? You know my rhyme, right? Red could make for a nice, and so far it has green, right? So I know this isn't just a straight red, right? But as I zoom out, you can even see it a little bit more. This has been a crazy section of drops and pops. These were obviously a little more extreme. This one was a little bit of a sad, slow death, but nonetheless, as I draw the lines, you can see it. This was just, let's put it here. Yeah, let's put it here. I think that's the line I want to see. Down, up, down, green, right? So, I mean, this was an amazing channel, all right? I flashed this chart. The struggle to escape the $1 was really odd to me. It was, because as I zoom in, you can see it. We stayed at $1 for, I mean, almost 2 weeks. almost, I don't even want to say almost, I think literally 2 weeks, right? So that entire line didn't make sense to me. We had a really healthy RSI. We had a MACD that was still in the positive. Obviously, you can see the volume just died, right? So the easy answer is volume died. I'm just surprised we had the good move. We held the 20. I just didn't get it, right? Obviously, the last 3 days made up for it, and there you go, right? But yeah, OCGN, it seems like this actually might want more. Even looking at the daily RSI, it wasn't that long ago that this thing was pushing a 92. It wasn't that long ago this thing was pushing an 89. We're at 74. We can still go to 80, let alone consider going above 80, right? So where are we to that? We're already over that. Where are we to that? I think 166 is next. I think we want to come to 166. If we break 166 again, there's just another beautiful red ladder all the way to this 260. So this looks fantastic. You can see a great divergence on the MACD. Again, MACD, just a fancy word for 2 lines going away. I got another divergence right here, 2 lines going away. Green is the one that's going away, and like a traffic light, right? Green is good. Green is good, right? So loving that healthy volume increase, right? It's nothing crazy like that. It's not the FFIE chart where I'm wondering if this is a pump and dump or not, right? This is a beautiful, and you can see it. It's done it and then went bigger, right? So yeah, OCGN, lovely. I don't know what else to say, but lovely, right? Coming into the weekly, so this is what I talked about. I flashed this on the Discord, right? There's a resistance at 118. That was the 118 resistance right there, right? Look, it has been well under that blue 100 moving average line. This to me doesn't even count because that was just hot knife through butter, right? That almost doesn't count to me because that was just hot knife through butter, right? So basically, since the line was created, we've been under it or a fake over it. So to me, that was a real important resistance. And yeah, it makes complete sense to me that once that 118 broke, we ran, right? So lovely on the weekly, lovely on the daily. What more can you ask for, right? So hey, please let me know your thoughts. Please let me know your opinions if you disagree. Otherwise, oh, I'm so grateful for your time. Thank you.